But Cecil
Yes.
has lots of history that you keep sort of like uncovering and making content on.
Yes.
Were you like, I saw the other day that you were like banned from going inside?
Yes. So I don't like basically as soon as I started posting content about it, I really wanted to get in, and that was right after the Netflix documentary came out. Did you watch that one?
I don't think I did.
You got to check it out.
Did American Horror Story film there, or is that the other hotel?
It's based off of the Hotel Cecil. So if you look at the exterior and interior lobby, it's like exactly the same way. Ryan Murphy did that on purpose to like replicate exactly. And a lot of the events that happened on that show were like based off of the events that happened at the Cecil, allegedly. So, I mean, definitely an inspiration for like a lot of, different shows and movies and everything. Yeah. And so as soon as I started posting like videos about it, I like wanted to get inside. So I like started flying my drone and to open windows, it would like crash and like fall on the marquee. And like, basically, I don't know, I probably was like destroying the building, unintentionally. And I feel bad, but it was like too fun, And I was like, and it was getting so many views. I was like, well, and I don't know.
You're like, the chaos is working.
Exactly. And so basically when I was talking to guards, like trying to get in, because they hired a guard after the documentary came out, because there were so many people trying to like break in and stuff.
Wow.
And they like boarded up the front and like all this stuff. And I was being told all the time, like, the owners are looking for you. Like, you're, like, you can't come in, they're trying to, whatever. And so that's kind of where that came from. And I don't know. I got to stay away now, because when I was there last week, we were actually like kind of held at gunpoint.
What the fuck?
I know. I was like, am I even supposed to say that here? I'm going to say it
anyway.
You
can say it. Yeah, you're fine.
But like,
you were held at gunpoint?
Yes, by one of the residents. And it's supposed to be, low income.
Yeah.
Kind of. And it's like, I just get so passionate about the subject, because the new owner was supposed to like make this a nice place. And as soon as he realized, he can spend a lot less by turning this into, a homeless shelter, he didn't really do anything and didn't install any more cameras, and only hired one security, and like on and on and on. And now he's, just kind of preaching that he's doing this for, the poor. And I'm like, okay, well, they have like guns in there, and people are like dying, and
there's children in there, I'm sure.
And there's one baby that was just born in the Cecil about a month ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's such a terrible area now, and I just feel so bad. They're like, it's like,
you've lived in downtown for a while. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about it?
I need to go.
Yeah, we just went. We just moved here, and it was very hard to be there, because I think like 10 years ago when I lived here, it was vibrant, and there was a lot of plans in place. It was gentrifying, and you just kind of felt this like vibrancy to it. And now there's definitely a concern for the folks that are there that are struggling, and there's no other, there's no plan, there's no roadmap, there's no intervention, and it's very hard. But then you also are like, well, but if I'm living here, I'm implicated, so I may get hurt. And so, yeah, you're making content there. That's like a next level thing.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, maybe I'll keep it as like a studio or something. But
sure, yeah.
Honestly, it's just since COVID, it's been such like bad vibes downtown. Like, I don't know.
Would you ever live? I mean, your mom lives here too, right? Would you guys ever move to anywhere else? Haunted, maybe?
Oh God, she wouldn't. She's like, stay away from that. I can't believe you would do that. And I'm like,
did she ever watch your content and call you and be like, Pete,
yes,
what did you do?
Oh, for sure. But what was interesting, when I got into the hotel, she called me to congratulate me though. So I was like, oh, well, do you want to come in next time? And she's like, absolutely not. And, there she goes again.
What makes your mom such a good mom?
She's been so, I think for me specifically, we're so alike, me and her. We have a lot of like the same, like I'll have a thought and then she'll have the same thought, so we kind of just carry each other's energy a lot and piggyback off each other. And I just think, to me, it's just so nice to have somebody who just really gets me on like such a deep level that doesn't make sense, I guess.
She's your mama.
Yeah.
Is it, have you ever asked her if it's been a struggle for her over the, because I'm sure that is her dynamic different with her other children who are like her? And do you feel othered by being 6'2"?
Yes. So when she had me, I had a 75% chance of being a little person. So they were anticipating it. but I came out, super tall. And they have to actually track you for the first 2 years because my mom's type of dwarfism is different than my dad's. So if I was my dad's, they could have identified it in the womb. If it was my mom's, then they have to wait the 2 years. And so my mom was always saying, there's no way he's going to be a little person. I would like kick her and she would just fall over. I was half her size when I was born. Imagine that.
What the heck?
I know.
Wow.
So I still apologize to this day. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that was like so painful.
Oh my God.
And she couldn't hold me after she was 1 year old. I was 1 year old. Wow. So it was definitely a struggle. And on top of that.
Who held you, Pete?
My dad.
Okay.
My dad was a lot bigger and like stronger.
Okay.
But even there, like I passed everyone when I was like 8, And it was interesting because, you go out to the store, to a restaurant or to doctors or something. And, usually they'll remember your family or something, but they'll remember everyone else. And they'd be like, oh, who's this? And I'd be like, oh, this is our son, Pete. You've met him a couple times before. So like sometimes it felt like a little bit outcasted or something. But
right.
Again, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's, just something that I've had to like learn and like relate to. And I've been able to be here to like, help my family like reach things or do things around the house. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're a good son.
Sometimes.
Good son. I have 2 girls, and there are times when I'm like, should I try for another one and try for a son or something? But hey, you get what you get. And that's part of being a mom, which I'm sure your mom now
realizes,
fully understands. You get what you get, and I mean, it's all sort of this crazy miracle, you know.
Do you have plans for another one?
I do not. No, we're good. We're good. We're not doing that. We're not doing it, like, Pete.
All done.
Don't speak about it. Don't wish that upon me. I started a little bit later, so I just feel like if I had started personally, if I had started younger, I probably would have had a third. But I mean, I have 2 girls. I'm very happy. And at a certain point, once they get past, when they're both in school and stuff, you're like, do I really want a newborn? It just really does change the dynamic a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, it does. It changes everything. So, and speaking of future and stuff, so like and you said to me, okay, YouTube's a thing. The book has been great. What other goals do you have?
Oh,
do you want to get into acting?
So I moved here to act, actually. Right. And then, like most people, you do something else eventually.
Yeah, many things.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out, like, I think I want to, I found such, like, my identity in this book, and not even just in the book, but more in just the message, which is, no matter how we view life, we all have a special perspective, and it's a strength. And, like, we should never feel like, we're worthless or whatever. And so I just kind of want to take that message and see where else that can take me, whether that's with ADHD, mental health, or maybe it's another book, maybe it's acting.
Would you do a reality show with your mom?
We have been approached by like every reality show.
I would think so.
And we just, I just can't do it.
No, okay.
My mom is like all about it. She's like, I think it'd be fun and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and why don't you want to do it?
I just think it like kind of pigeonholes you, like, and like, I don't want to be known forever as the guy that has a dwarf family, and like, it's something that I want to speak about forever, but it's not something I feel like that would solidify that,
I completely understand where you're coming from. So like, I was a child actor, right, with Disney.
Yes.
And so a lot of people approach me a lot. Like recently I've had multiple production companies being like, hey, like, can we do a thing about child actors? And I'm like, there's a big difference between advocating and teaching people exactly what they need to know about how to help and be a part of the solution or the perspective, like get showing them through your lens, right?
Yeah.
And then having it sanitized, diluted, mismanaged through the guises of a reality show.
Yeah.
And so I completely understand where you're coming from with that. And I think you should just stick to your guns, because if your instincts are truly telling you creatively this is not the right choice, I think your mom would back you no matter what.
And she does, and we've had talks about it, and I mean, she's like, just imagine like less stress and more just people helping you. And, you know, like, I mean, there are a lot of like positives and, you know, money's guaranteed or whatever. But
you'd
like,
have to really trust the people that are producing it.
Exactly.
Or you just have to produce it yourself.
Yeah, which I could never do that.
Really?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that sounds like this was a lot of work. I can't imagine.
But you did it. You wrote this book. You know what? I don't know, man. Think big. I'm like, I want to think big on your behalf. I feel like you could do this. I think your management team could help you. Like, if it was something you wanted to control to really show people. Thanks so much for checking out this clip for the Vulnerable Podcast. For the full episode, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. That link is in the description. Thanks again.